You know who Journey Tool is?
I know that name.
He's living.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finally broke him. I'm finally breaking living.
What do you mean?
Like, I've never really got a lot of engagement in living.
Hmm.
Finally breaking them.
He's a younger guy, right?
Yeah, this will, May will be the 2 years. It'll be 2 years there.
Uh-huh.
I'm finally breaking them. It took longer because it was only 1 day a week. Like living, I broke because I came 4 days a week. Or not living legacy. So it's gonna pop out to our thing on Thursday. Is it just you?
Good.
Okay. Okay, Jessica or the rest of the crew, because that'll fucking flip her out.
Someone's missing.
Hey. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, you can sit behind me. Did, Granny, I'm not supposed to take Granny yet. Did she,
Post concert
she gonna do the website? She emailed me about the website.
pregame night.
Granny, I don't know what to call her. I'm gonna ask her if she wants to be called. I'm gonna call her Granny.
Oh, I was so good.
Oh, yeah, that was the first thing she Scott showed me.
Me too. So cute.
I don't know how Granny. She doesn't want to be a grandma. She doesn't want to be called Granny.
Really?
I can go grandma.
My mom's Gigi.
I think that's what she wants to go with, but I really hope Granny would be a little more jamming for him to leave this. It was Lynette, so you never know. And she emailed me and I asked her, she said, is there any reason why I shouldn't upgrade? I said, no. You guys have a good job. As long as my little husband is still over there, then. Well, this is that, we need to probably upgrade, you get ready and then.
This is beach music, apparently. All right. I am now going to.
They're doing.
She's good. All right. It looks like you're already a co-host
Yeah,
here.
I tried.
Okay. Hey, not much. Yeah, she's doing okay. She's uncomfortable, not sleeping great. Her back hurts a lot, you know, all of the things that you're probably also feeling. Well, I'm saving that for you. Tough talk with.
Yeah. I've been married for 20+ years.
Did you don't say things like
I don't
that?
say anything.
And I share from desktop.
Yay. Look at this progress we're making.
Progress.
Someone threw the camera in that bag, like that box of junk, like it was guarded. Any ideas who I can yell at?
It wasn't boxed?
No, it's starting like it was trash.
No idea. No idea. Yeah.
That's just my normal mess in the schedule.
I always, whenever that happens, when I'm on the other side of it. it just makes me feel better.
I you guys pick out a name. Yeah. Yeah, Helen?
When she's bored.
Are you gonna make me wait that long?
Where you go,
When-
where you go in the
when she
baby
gets-
shower and find out.
You know, I just sent a gift and call it a minute.
But
I asked Caitlin if I bought her a better gift, do I have to?
you don't have to go.
No.
But if you want that out of it, you go.
Let's see if you guess.
Different.
One of the,
I thought you had gold inlay on your shirt.
that means good morning.
I did. Like, oh, Jesus.
You'll guess.
¿Cómo qué? ¿Cómo qué?
¿Cómo estás?
Yo estoy bien.
Okay.
Bien contento.
I know, I'm out.
Sandy, brush up on your Spanish.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Huh? What's your name?
It's not. But it's not.
What's your mom's middle name?
Are they train tickets? Wait,
Yeah.
For the meeting.
To get you through.
Oh. Well, it's not-
Regularly.
Are you coming?
See, that's.
Oh.
Thank you.
Are you showing up like a little bit
We're a little
before?
bit, yeah.
All right. All right. Lynn, are you coming?
Coming to what?
Spelling bee tonight?
I can't spell the same money.
Well, then
don't
you
have to put a
can
note
check it.
I can't spell, that's why I'm
When you walked in, I thought you had a gold inlay on your shirt.
Here, I'm gonna give you a ticket.
No way.
Are you saying I'm not fancy enough to have?
No, I
it?
literally thought.
Oh, that's
it looked like
possible.
Black and it's a gold.
Cheese, yes.
Oh, and somebody.
Bought it?
Yeah, on the table, yeah. Did anybody else bring canned food stuff? Me. Said I did.
What's the letter start?
Oh, that.
That gives a lot. 'cause everybody
I'm gonna
says
be coming.
that.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big, yeah.
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 Yeah. You get
Oh,
the
you
spotlight on you.
really-
It's like-
Did you know, Caitlin before?
The name?
Yeah.
Yes, no, but the meeting.
We don't either. I was asking Candace, I think last, when we had our meeting, there was 13 or 14 who actually registered, but it doesn't tell us who's just showing up and who's coming, yeah. We have plans, we have like an outline.
I have court at 8:30 in the morning in Mansfield.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be
What
there.
did you do?
Sign up. 'cause
I do.
Oh,
I have my court with, yeah.
That's what they call that.
They call it special meeting, so.
Special meeting.
I get.
So it's okay like that, but I'm connected, so I can
So
remember.
appraisal's been ordered then?
You don't forget, that's you.
Okay. So she got back to me, I didn't have to, Mark over the house, like, we talked about that, they add more, they don't wanna pay it for reinspectors.
No, I have.
Like, okay, well, how's everything going there? I'm like, to make this thing, and for it to work, it's not gonna take out pay for it.
Pick something out. Because every time I try to look at the name, I can't remember it.
So there you. Yeah, it's like, it's really nice thing to say, because some of them call it,
Now I.
on the hot water tank, some of them call out the steps.
Thank you so much.
Smoke detectors, you know, they can never know.
Like, they can come to them, like, a lot. He's not one of them.
I would. You can, no one has probably ever done that, so.
I did enjoy that day.
Okay,
And then free for that, you probably.
Okay. yeah, I will, she should let me know when it happened. Because the.
Yeah,
Environment,
I know.
Dr. Agent can schedule it, so that way they can get access. And then, they just go, they just do it, get their license in the state of Ohio, so it's not like inspectors. Where like, they are licensed in Ohio, but like, not the same stuff that an appraiser has to go through.
Yeah.
All right, get back to work. Dude, I have those days where I'm like, can I just stay in my PJs? I was pissed. I woke up this morning and my computer having like thing and then like the dot that was keep going in circles. And so I asked to take it to a computer guy.
17.
So like that. It's better not. I mean, I've got it.
Yeah, that's hard.
I know. But then everything saved on it. Not now. Like everything's online saved with password, so don't worry. If I need access to another computer, I can just out.
Everything for me.
Yeah. You're like, oh. Alright, well, I'm talking to you soon.
So they have until tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. 10 o'clock tomorrow. Why do people do that? No, now we have technology.
No.
And then of course, I have to try it out.
Yeah, but sometimes.
This minute, yeah, I think they probably think that either.
Hey,
Yeah.
looking over you.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's- Yeah, it looks better. That's not the out.
Yeah.
I have no idea, I guess we'll find out. Like it's a surprise.
Oh, man.
Yeah, she was like, I just threw up. I was like, okay, well, stay home, stay home, I'll see you. Do your job, way to do your job, yeah. Yeah, come here, I thought.
Feedback, all the feedback. It's right after me. Yeah. I will listen to it. Get it, where's that?
I don't really. That's not how.
I'm the same way. So, and then.
I've done it. So everything else, I'm like, all over it again, like, I don't really. So they want to talk about like. They don't talk about it. Like, so I think I can. I'll come through. Yeah, because we're like playing it. I feel like I'm going to go with it and you're slowly. I'm like. No. Ever happened.
That's the beauty of this, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say,
That's my goal. I'm different though.
It's not people like that, though. Yeah, often.
And I'm like, I know this room, they're 5 minutes old, and they're updated, so it's not like. Like a 90,000, you're like. No, they're up. They don't wanna be up there. They're like, I wanna be around like 120. Yeah. Right now.
Yeah.
Did you put the East one in? When we went to the plot lines, and you were going to that, like.
Right.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I was seeing that there.
I don't know.
Yeah, you as well.
Yeah, sorry. Whatever they call me. Everybody.
I think that's hilarious.
Oh, that girl?
If you think about it, that is 10, right? Like, mom is 10. I know, right? No, I don't
Yeah.
What's that? All right, all right. Look what a little prize does to bring some people out of the woodwork. Welcome back. Welcome into our February meeting. January, the year of January is now over, and now we're on to February. It's good to see some fresh faces back. You know, we have a welcome back section for Mike Sakotis and the rest of y'all. But yeah, in case you missed it, today we're doing the big trip giveaway. And we're gonna do it at the end because we know what you suckers would do if we did it too soon. Yeah. We should just do this every meeting, right, Jose? Let's get this started the way we always do. Would love to hear from a handful of us. What are we grateful for today? What's a win? What's something we can celebrate? Scott, you're always ready.
Became a grandfather last night.
Whoa! Is it a girl?
No, boy.
Okay.
I'm just strong enough in my own mask.
Yes. Valentine's Day is tomorrow.
And it's cheery, right?
Yeah.
And Sophia's our influence. She's Miss People.
Okay. Congratulations. Everyone's healthy and
Yep. She only pushed for 25 minutes for her first kid. I said, a lot of ladies gonna be jealous.
dang. That's amazing. Well,
Both are healthy and doing well, and we're excited.
congratulations. Praise the Lord. Who else? That's hard to top that one, but you don't need to. You can just share something to it.
I'm thankful I did not become a grandfather last night.
Raised so many other questions. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, Jess. Congratulations. She's adopting their foster child. So that's been months, a year in the making. Yeah. So that's a huge relief. Any other child related updates or
Yeah, well, Carter's been off school, Baylor knows for 3 weeks now, 2 weeks. He finally went back, yesterday for spelling the back problem. He's doing a lot better.
Wow, that's a long time. It's a long time.
Yeah. Mine's moving out.
Man, there's so many things to be grateful for. That's awesome. One or two more?
I gotta go. My son,
Yeah, go ahead.
he committed to Walsh University. He's gonna stay local. He's gonna be playing soccer there. and,
Awesome.
You know, and going to college. He got his scholarship and things like that. So very proud of him.
That's awesome. One more non-child related gratitude, you know, just kids are great, but you know. Anyone? Yeah, Holly.
I'm grateful for hearing about the book, The Road Less Stupid. If you haven't read or listened to it, I highly advise you to. It's like one of the best business life hacks.
Yes.
I've ever heard.
Holly was blowing me up this morning all about, you gotta read this. For those of you who are Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki people, he is the rich dad. So Keith Cunningham is the author of this book, is the one who it's all about. Gratitude, just as I see Katie, I had the chance to get away, and as did you, for just a fun family weekend getaway in Columbus this weekend. And I woke up that morning, I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna bump into someone I know. And I'm at COSI, I'm like, oh, Katie, how's it going?
You walked in, you like you were the one of the first people that we
Yeah.
saw. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, like we sat by each other, like our tables were by each other at lunch, and we kept like bumping.
Yeah. I swear, I'm not stalking you.
Not stopping.
Yeah, that's right. There's space enough for all of us here. All right, as we know. So just as a reminder, for those who made $60,000 in GCI, with us. So some of you weren't with us all of the year last year. This is for people that made that with us only, right? Okay, so you got to stay on Zoom or in person. Amanda, enough of me. Let's get you sharing some of the wonderful faces that have joined us in the last bit.
Okay, I believe we welcomed 9 new agents from various different teams and places and locations and areas. So we welcome Jordan Beebe in our Tusk T County office. We welcomed back Mike Sakotis, who's sitting in the welcome back chair. Morgan Stewart, who is joining the Melissa Kaufman team. Angela Polka, also joining us in our T County office. Ashley Richards joining Sam Holmes's.
Who's here in the room somewhere? Raise your hand, Ashley. Yeah.
Yes. Carrie Corp, who is joining us in Worcester. Michael Thomas.
Yep.
Micah Fueling and Amanda Mitchell, who I see.
Who's also here. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome.
She was attending team meetings before she was licensed. So I'm like, oh, got good feelings there.
Good stuff. So welcome, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you. Where's Cassandra? Ms. Cassandra. Was hiding?
All right. Hi. It's good to see so many of you here. January's profit share was $21,055.77. Shocking announcement. It is the same as the year-to-date number.
Also, just on that, a January profit share is rarely high and exciting, but it was our best January ever from a profitability standpoint. And we finished 33rd in the entire country in profit share out of 830 some odd offices. So kudos to all y'all. Oops.
All right. Our January cappers are Melissa Sanford and Caitlin Shepherd.
Who had a baby like 4 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or something. So capping from home. Not too bad.
All right, January top producers, there were a solid amount of you in January, which is what contributes positively to profit share. So great job, keep up the good work.
It's a great list for January. I think that might be it for you. Is there something else? Anything related to 1099s, kind of end of year, beginning of year bookkeeping, just put you on the spot.
If you need anything, just send me an email.
You should have gotten it already.
Yes, if you don't have your 1099 yet, let me know. There is a separate one for profit share that comes from KWRI.
Should have also already gotten that.
I can find directions to get it yourself if you haven't. Otherwise, I think most of you have been reaching out. If you need anything.
Yeah, beginning of the year with MLS dues, board dues, there's a lot of stuff for us to keep track of. So thanks to you and thanks to y'all for helping us with that. I think that's all we got for you. Rich, come on up.
Sadly, my name is synonymous with wah wah.
Wah wah.
There's nothing good that I have to say. Just a heads up, so, yeah, TCPA compliant, we did pay, or Kerry Keller paid $40 million for this lawsuit, which he said he would not do again. And I know that there are plenty of agents, probably even in this room, that are using auto dialers that you shouldn't be using. And calling on the do not call list. So please make sure that you are reaching out for those expireds, any kind of solicitation. Make sure you check that they're not on the do not call list, because we definitely do not want another lawsuit. So, yeah. Let's see if I have anything good in here. I don't think so. MLS dues, you just got done paying all of your board dues. And for those of you that didn't, we have the team track you down. We got everybody paid finally, and your MLS dues are now due. Those are due by the end of this month, I think, or by like March 11th, somewhere in there. It is important that you guys keep up on this stuff. If you can't pay it, please let us know, because unfortunately we get the nasty grams from the board and or the MLS. And believe it or not, they have the ability to shut off our entire office just for one person not paying. And they will use it because that's what they have, or we have to pay it. And as I've said before, I'm not paying it, and if I do, Jose's probably gonna question why. But we're not paying it for you, so please, please, please pay it. We are a dour state. There are only 2 dour states left in the entire country. Don't ask me why we are still that state.
Anyone know the other two?
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
And there's
and
only us.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
There were three, now it's.
Philly, it used to be Kentucky, maybe?
It could be. Unfortunately, what that means is, for those of you, make sure you're getting on the listing agreements and purchase agreements that spouses, soon to be ex-spouse, new spouse, whatever they are, if they are legally married, get their signatures on it, because we are seeing where, believe it or not, people don't always get along in a divorce. And some people don't want to sign at the end of the day at the closing company to say, yeah, I agree with those numbers, and guess what, then we find ourselves in trouble. For listing a property for sale that we can't really sell. So, it is in your listing agreements, on your purchase agreement, please get them to sign it. A little bit about the lawsuit. So any of us heard about the lawsuit that got settled, right? All right, so, we did settle, and it's my understanding we have one settlement for actually BHHS, Keller Williams, Remax. We are all lumped into one settlement. There are different amounts that each company is paying, but changes are coming. So it's like you heard a hurricane is a coming, well, changes are coming, and we don't know exactly what they are. Business as usual for now. I want to say thank you for your patience. A lot of you have called or texted to say, hey, the 295 hasn't been updated in the purchase agreement, and that's true. We are waiting on document. I don't know why it's taking them 10 years to get us what we need. We processed that in early December, but nonetheless, we are still waiting. You have, some of you are still charging 225, some of it's still 295. Changes that are coming, we really don't know. We have 6 months from the date the settlement agreement was entered into. And we do know that we have to put new disclosures in our listing agreement that say that commission is 100% negotiable. We also have to disclose that commissions are not set by law. And we also have to come up with a pre-disclosure before closing that also reiterates that, and it has to be in the buyer agency agreement. So even though you've all learned our new buyer agency agreement from the state, forget everything you know, it's probably going to be changed. So I would just say, do business as usual. We will update you as we have more, but it's really getting with our attorney and figuring out what we can and can't put in the listing agreement. Some of the conversation is, I think that we should be allowed as a company to put our minimum commission in the listing agreement. I don't know if I'm gonna win that fight, but that's one that we're working on. So just know that it may come back where there are all blanks in the listing agreement and you have to fill them all in, including the 295 additional commission. So more to come on that. Any questions that I can try and answer for anybody? Yeah.
Yeah, on the listing agreements, are they going to force they have where both sides like ours is, because some other agencies don't do that? Is that something become uniform, you think?
It is part of the settlement agreement, and that's why we recently updated our listing agreement to say that we have cooperation with other brokerages. And I know it's redundant. It is on there twice for those of you that have taken the class or paid attention to it. It is on there twice. We have to say that we are cooperating with other brokerages, what that looks like for commission wise. But we also have to break it down into buy side and listing side, because it could be zero. It could be zero for the buy side. So that will be standard in everybody's listing agreements. Subject to sales. I think Holly brought this to our attention probably a couple months ago, and I mentioned it in team meeting, but it really hasn't come to fruition until recently. So anybody have any idea what a subject to sale is? Has anybody seen that at all? Okay, so one of you. So one of the things that we're seeing now is people that are not able to, they don't want to get a loan necessarily. What they're doing is an investor perhaps is saying, hey, I will make an offer on Cassandra on your home. Your mortgage, by the way, is going to stay in place. I'm going to give you a down payment for that. The property is going to transfer into my name, and I'm just going to continue to make your loan payments for the rest of your loan. Now, there may be some people that are open to that. Things to consider. Your seller may not be able to get another loan on a house simply because they have that still part of their debt to income ratio. By the way, what happens if they stop making the payment? They're going to have a foreclosure on their credit. So if you see a subject to sale, please get with me and I'll try and review it with you. I've not seen a successful one yet in Ohio, but that doesn't mean it's not happening in other states. It is happening in other states. One of the biggest things that we see is there's an acceleration clause in your mortgage that says that if you transfer your property from your name, the bank could accelerate your note and make it be payable in
Due
full.
on sale. Yeah.
We're hearing that these investors are saying, but that really never happens. Well, it could.
Yeah.
And so you don't want it to happen to you. So I would say if you get a subject to sale, please understand what you're getting your seller into and make sure that they understand it. I'm happy to review it with you. I'm not going to say I know everything about it. It's new to all of us, but happy to review it and ask questions. So
it's kind of trendy in the TikTok, YouTube, kind of real estate investing. If you're working with someone who's asking questions about wholesaling, odds are good that the algorithm will show them subject to deals as well. It's kind of a non-traditional real estate investing space.
How's it different than?
Well, the land contract is typically the seller is the bank and you transfer the property, but oftentimes there's not usually a mortgage on that property.
Right.
It's the seller that's holding the mortgage, if you will. But it's different because their mortgage, the seller's mortgage is still in place. And so that's the biggest thing. You're transferring the property out of that person's name. They have no more leverage to that property whatsoever, but it's still on their credit report.
Right.
Like,
I've even seen some, because I've dealt with a lot of people want to try to do it myself, where they will actually ask the seller to put a second position lien behind their first mortgage.
Right.
To cover their down payment and pay that off.
They used to do that. They, like the 80/20s, remember those days?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are getting very creative in order to get real property and keep an interest rate that is lower than the current rates and or just take advantage of people altogether.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How is it the same or different from an assumable?
Well, assumable, the new buyer actually assumes that loan and it gets transferred into their name. They also have to qualify for it, and there's the qualifying is, it sounds like a little bit more strict than qualifying for a regular mortgage. The difference is in this case, the subject to mortgage doesn't actually get paid off. So if I say I'm gonna do subject to your property, whatever mortgage you have in place, I'm paying on that for the next 28 years or 15 years, whatever you have left. So if I default on it, the property is in my name, you might get the foreclosure or the notices to pay on a house that you don't even own anymore.
Right.
So legally, so there is a difference.
Mhm.
And the last thing that I'll say, unless there's any other questions about that. Again, nothing fun today to say. The last thing is just, as we interact with ourselves as agents in a professional setting, please do not say anything to another agent or another human that you probably wouldn't say if your spouse was sitting next to you. Okay? Because we are having some conversations where people are making comments that perhaps they shouldn't, whether it's at our brokerage or to another agent or whatever. So please just think about being in a professional environment and knowing who you're discussing certain topics with. If you wouldn't do it with your spouse present, it's probably not something you should say.
And we as a brokerage aren't afraid to take more strong measures when necessary, when we find out about these situations.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the drawing. Something exciting.
Yeah, we should just have like one big bad news meeting, but pair it with a trip giveaway. And
Yeah, but then only the winners.
yeah, but you get it over with.
Like,
Just a
wow, I
Band-Aid.
really, that sucked.
That was a great segue. Us being represented and us understanding what's happening at a national and state level is important. And so wanted to invite up Mr. Ohio RPAC himself, branded and everything. Eric, come and share with us for a few minutes.
I asked Mark if I could have just a couple minutes just to talk about ORPAC. Today's a great day because we have a large attendance. And how many people love the Ohio Small Business Tax Credit?
You should if you're not raising your hand.
It saves us a lot of money, and there's a lot of agents that have made over $60,000 that gives us a chance to, take that deduction and not pay taxes on it. Who would like to see more legislation with wholesalers? That's one of the items that's on the agenda for RPAC. And I think just having a voice and a seat at the table allows us to do that. And it's a small investment from everybody that makes a difference in this. It's not something that's a large amount, $25. 30% of STAR invested at the dues time. So that's a great number, and we're off to a great start. It raised over $13,000. So it's probably the best that we've had so far. How can you support RPAC? Is RPAC worth $100 a year to you? $25 a quarter? Maybe it's $25 for the year. But I think most agents can afford $25 at least, maybe $100. We do have 3 major investors in our office. Scott and Lynette Rich and myself were major investors last year, and I've already made the commitment to be a major investor this year. And we're not asking people to be major investors, although if you wanted to be one, we would absolutely take that. But it's just a small investment of $100 or $50 or $25. Just consider that, because this is what gives us a voice, a seat at the table. And without that, we don't have our small business tax deduction. We don't have the ability to push legislation for personal property rights. And I think that's just a big key in what we do, is protecting our influence with others, and then also personal property rights for those that we represent. So just consider that. I'm here for a few minutes after, but my wife just had surgery, so I'm not going to be here long. Just call me if you want to talk about it, but we can support it through voting for the pet contest, the RPAC auction, Realtor Feud champions, right? So
Hot water bottle.
so just anything you want to do and consider, I think it's just in our best interest as a group. And our office can lead the way within Star, so. thank
We'll
you.
drop a link in the Facebook page that can show you how you can donate if you're so moved. Thank you, Eric. Thanks for all that you do for us and for our town. While we have our friends from cross country come up, raise your hand if you have an empty seat next to you, because we have people lingering in the back. Maria, Kim, if you guys want to come in and sit, you're welcome. We're not going to force you to, but there is some space. Cliff, Jessica, Kate. You don't know. Choose your own adventure. The time's yours.
Well, we got some positive stuff to talk about, guys.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
So, well, first I wanted to kind of discuss, let you guys know, we are trying to set up a wonderful CE class for you guys. That'll be happening in March with our credit counseling services. And so we had a successful credit counseling class a little further up north with one of the other, KW offices, and had a really good turnout, a lot of positive feedback and great information. So we think we want to make sure we're going to have it here at our office here. It's Bob Willis at Credit Repair Services.
Cool.
Great guy. I mean, it's lots of information, not just for people to know in general, but any kind of credit situation that you guys may come up with, or your buyers or sellers may come up with. This is the kind of information that you guys can have to help with that. So the 1 hour CE, we'll have lunch and everything provided. We're going to get that all squared away for you. Okay. And then one other thing too, real quick, it just is a good update that I saw, the Fannie Mae Home Ready program, how they aired it, the 80% heir to moderate income that we used to have with that. The last year's, I think, for Stark County was like 60,000. Now it's all the way up to like $67,040. So these kinds of things are going to really help impact, especially first-time home buyers with our CCM Smart Start program with the 2% down. With the gift that we give you guys, maybe more people are going to be able to qualify for it now. And that's free money that comes from cross country. So a great program that we have to offer all of our clients that can qualify for that. We're going to check on all of them.
Perfect. I have two things too. I also won't yell at you like Rich did. Our first note is, Carly Bailey and I would love to invite you to our Coffee and Conversations on Friday. It's a new monthly kind of series that we're doing. We're gonna pick a different coffee shop every single month. It's just for networking, collaboration, some lead generation, some fun things, just kind of to get together and talk outside the office in a new fun space. So that's gonna be at Artisan Coffee on Akron Road, Canton Road in Akron.
Yeah. Confusing.
At 10 a.m. on Friday, so it's in a Facebook group and we would love to see you there. And then the only other thing that we wanted to talk about today, we're running something really, really cool with the Shackleford branch right now. And it's if you have a person who's approved with another company and they come to us with a second opinion, if they end up using us, we actually credit their appraisal at closing. So it's a free appraisal to them. They still have to pay for it up front, just like any traditional transaction, but we credit the appraisal at closing.
Cool.
So I can speak for Jessica and myself. A really good chunk of the majority of our business comes from second opinions. Someone just, calls us and wants to get a better deal. We end up saving them a ton of money, just in a number of ways. One, of course, over the life of the loan. Through our programs, we're super, super thorough when it comes to getting your clients the best deal out there. So if you have any buyers that might be interested in getting a free appraisal,
Let us
call
know.
us.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think that's it.
Yeah, we're good.
Jess and I are super excited to hang out with y'all at family reunion. So if you're going, we would love to hang out.
It's gonna be so late.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So
You never sleep, right?
Artisan this month, Speedway next month, or, you know.
I forget.
Yeah.
More of a get and go gal. I get it. Respect it. Respect it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I think we have Miss Lynn. Come on, up and over. The camera's gonna man itself.
Well, I haven't. So. Command website, sorry, it's gonna be my command drum. I actually got a drum from another agent, so I'm very excited about
Like
it.
a steel drum or a,
It's a yoga drum.
okay.
I'll play it for you next time. Command put some really cool stuff in with the websites. And I normally don't say that, but they put in a home evaluation. Everyone asks me, they want an instant evaluation. It's gonna give you an instant evaluation. I recommend trying it before you do it, so you know what you're getting into. Websites, you can do really cool blogs. You can, with the blogs, it increases your SEO. What that means to you guys is visibility. It can get you seen on these new websites, counter to what people believe. I've done it. I can get myself seen, and I don't do that.
I don't want to be seen.
You do. It's a free way, easy way to do it. If you do not have a website, if you would like one, email me. And I will email back you back a form, and I will upgrade your website, and get everything you need in there for you.
I am not tech talented, but I set this up this morning and I ran myself as a beta test. It gave me a notification. Oh, Mark Sandvig wants to know the valuation of his home. And when you click on the evaluation, it gives you a range, but then
It'll also send you an email.
Yes.
Everyone always yells at me because it doesn't give them what they want. It will send you an email.
Yep. Yep.
Whatever in your marketing profile, that's the email it's gonna send to you, and you will get a actual email this time that someone's actually asking you for something.
it's a great tool, and it's an easy touch for you to follow up with your people, for them to understand what's going on
And
in
if
their
you
world.
don't have one, get one.
Yep. Thanks, Lynn. Appreciate it. All right. We're just clapping all around today. Winning with investors. How many of you closed a deal with someone who was looking to invest or was getting rid of investment property last year? Great. So you guys will help me team teach this section. A pet peeve of mine is that oftentimes, we're saying, hey, but whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, come on in, Megan, there's space. You're an investor. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, work with me. And I think the truth is that most agents aren't positioned to provide a whole lot of value as it relates to serving investors. So we're going to have a brief conversation today about what we can do. So why does this conversation matter? I'm going to say two primary reasons. One is opportunity. If you're not adding that as a part of your business and you're not positioned to truly provide value to that part of your business, you're missing out on a sector of this industry. I think we saw that 3 cities in Ohio, I'm trying to remember who the report was, were rated as kind of top destinations for investors. Cleveland gets a lot of the attention, but Akron, Canton are right there as well. And we know that. So opportunity for you, but also investor perception. I'm gonna just carry forward Rich's wah gong. I think if you were to talk with the average high-level investor, say, tell me how much value an agent brings to you, they're going to say they open the door for me. And that's it. They would view us as overpaid door openers. And for a lot of agents, I think that's true. When we talk about understanding the value of a property, understanding the numbers, understanding the opportunity for the investor, I think the average agent is not all that well equipped. So we're going to kind of dive into some of those things today. So I'm going to say that there's 4 areas of value that you can and should consider bringing. Opportunity comes when we solve 1 or 2 or 3 of those things. We're not going to be all things for our investors, but if we can be a few of those things, that can make a huge difference. So analyzing the numbers, do I actually understand the quality of the investment for them, as opposed to this is a good home in a good neighborhood? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Analyzing the property. Obviously, what do I need to be looking out for that an investor is more likely to care for than a first-time home buyer is? Connecting them to resources. They're going to need a lot more connections than many people would in order to run their business to the scale that they may want, and then leverage. And we're gonna spend more time on 2 of those than the other 2, but I wanted to note that. For this part of the conversation, I want to invite up Mr. Eli Mongold. We're clapping, so let's just bring up Eli. Eli has been with us for 2 years now, a little more, yeah.
Yeah.
And Eli crushes it in the investor space. So tell us a little bit about kind of what you do in the investor world. How does your business focus at this point?
So currently my business focus with investors is mostly some of the larger funds out of like the Manhattan, California area. And generally the value I try to bring to them is helping them analyze the property. You know, at the end of the day, we are trying to buy an investment here. And so being able to understand their numbers, understand their models and kind of recreate and bounce things off of them is where I think I really succeed.
Yeah, so many of us, oh, I work with someone who bought a duplex this year. That's an investor. Eli's representing funds that are buying 20, 30 homes a month right now. There's a level of standard and expectation that I think you've proven your value in a nerding out in the spreadsheet sort of way. And so I'm excited to dive in. So we're going to do kind of just a brief intro, and some of this may be rehash for some of you. But Eli, I wanted to talk about just some key terms to help us understand. And some of this is so much of what we do is felt value. If your investor feels as though you're speaking their language, even if you don't know it as deeply as they do, they're going to feel a higher level of connection. So speaking in their terms is going to be important. So Eli, can you walk us through how you think about at least some of these, and I can fill in the gaps?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first one is going to be cap rate slash ROI. Cap rate is short for capitalization rate. The formula for calculating that is going to be taking the asset's value and dividing it by its net operating income. And that's generally where you want to land. In the state of Ohio, I think you want to be at like an 8.5 for your first year. And then for your second year stabilization, you want to be like a 9.25.
And another way of understanding that is if someone bought a property without using debt at all. So putting debt on a property changes the numbers. But if I was just to buy a property cash, I want to earn at least 8.5% on my money.
Correct.
Is how that's
Honestly, even if you leverage into it, you still want to be the for DSCR ratios, but we'll get into that.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. What about NOI?
NOI is going to be your net operating income, pretty simple one. After all of your expenses are paid, that's what you're left with, also known as your cash flow.
Yep, great. OpEx.
Operational expenditure. So OpEx is going to be all of the expenses that you have to maintain the property, debt service, taxes, utilities, all that on top of the repairs that you're putting into it.
Many people, when they're talking about a property, oh, it cash flow is $500 a month, which means gross rents minus mortgage equals $500 a month. That's not an accurate number. That's not the NOI of a property. OpEx needs to factor in all of those things. And I think that's a mistake that a lot of people make, is not considering the true total cost of operating property. What's a 1% rule?
The 1% rules was pretty much a pretty simple metric that a lot of investors, a lot of agents try to follow when they're trying to price a rental property, what they're willing to pay or what they should sell it for. And it is, so long as your rent is 1% of what the home is priced at, you are generally okay. I mean, there's a lot of factors, but that's a quick and dirty way to take a look.
Yeah, a million factors to look at, but when you're first glancing at a property,
Yes.
that many people are hoping for it to at least meet that.
Yeah.
And you sell some 3% properties, there's different things to look at there. What about ARV? What's that mean?
After repair value, this is mostly in the flip scenario where you're taking a look at what the property would comp out at afterwards. You're generally not going to get appraisals done. Some of the lenders these people buy their money from will, but at the end of the day, if you're helping a flipper shop for a property, just run comps on what that thing could be worth when it's all said and done.
Yep. Many people make the mistake of, oh, it'll be worth $300,000. You know, if any of you are working with wholesalers, just something to have your flags up about. Wholesalers are notorious for setting that ARV high. Oh, the ARV is $300,000. And that's where a lot of people lose their shirts, is trusting someone when they haven't done their own due diligence.
Yeah, absolutely. They use like the CAMP CMA and everything. They use like AI driven ones like Zest, and that's because of course it helps them sell the property faster, and they can make their thin little 25 grand.
Right. Cash on cash.
Cash on cash return is going to be the percentage over return that you're making from the cash you put in the property. So if you are paying for a property all cash, your cash on cash is going to be significantly lower than if you leverage into the property or bought money to get the property, because you're putting less actual hard money out of your pocket into it.
Right. So if you invested 20 grand to buy $100,000 rental,
Yes.
and it generated $2,000 in true profit, that would be a 10% cash on cash return.
Correct. Yes.
$2,000 into the 20,000.
The way that it is generally, though, the way for your accounting would be 1,000%. It actually kind of helps sell it to the investor as well. Like, oh, your cash on cash is going to be 2,000% on this property, when in reality you're dropping the two zeros. But
Nice. IRR, what's that mean?
Internal rate of return is what that stands for. It's a pretty simple one. You are taking the future value of the property, which of course is a comp value, and then dividing it by its present value. Generally speaking, you want it to be 25%. Why you want to pay attention to that is a lot of investors nowadays are doing delayed financing where they're closing in cash and putting a loan on it afterwards. So they need to make sure they have that spread to put the mortgage on.
Yep. That was just a very brief intro. This is a resource. So for those of you who are in the investor space at all, if you're not already in BiggerPockets, you need to be. It's kind of the place where lots of real estate investing is talked about, but they actually have a glossary for all real estate investing related terms. So if he's moving fast and you're saying this is a lot, I'm not so sure, hang out on the glossary. There's a lot of good information in there. Putting you on the spot for a second, Eli. Say I'm approached by an investor, says, I hear Northeast Ohio is good and I want to make, I need to have at least a 10% cap rate. What are you've told us how to calculate it. How are you beginning to search based upon them giving you a metric? Does that question make sense?
So like what kind of properties I'm sending them while they're looking?
Yeah, how do I know what to look for if they're looking for a 10 cap?
So generally speaking, you're gonna be looking in some of the niche rated neighborhoods and like kind of the B and C range is what a lot of these people are looking for. Generally, if you start getting into that B and C range, you're seeing the higher rate of returns only because the properties are a little bit cheaper. And hopefully, there's not a lot of work that has to go into them, but that's generally where you find those.
Okay. Cool.
Or you can create them through BRRRR method and things of that nature.
Sure, which is a separate class. For those who are curious about the BRRRR method, we did do a K1 network Zoom class 2 or 3 weeks ago. That is recorded, that was emailed out, that we can share with you. Mike Magno does a lot of that, and he was teaching us about that.
Really quick, while I was talking about the internal rate of return, I thought about something for the cap rate. When you're talking to them, you always want to make sure the cap rate is higher than the cost of money. So whatever the going mortgage rate is, you always want to make sure it's higher.
Yeah, if I'm going to pay 7% on my mortgage, but the cap rate's 6%, I'm losing money.
You see properties advertised, they're like, that's a 6.4 cap. They think it's just cool to say that there's a capitalization rate, when in reality it's losing money.
Yeah, this is a terrible investment. Yeah, don't buy. All right, we are going to attempt to briefly walk through a scenario, and I'm hoping y'all can see this okay. Lynn, can you confirm whether this is visible? Okay, great. Eli, can you walk us through a recent deal that you were involved in?
Yeah, absolutely. So I recently closed with Sam Talbot, who I know is a newer face around here, a deal called, it's 703 Excelsior was the address. It was up in Akron. And so this calculator here is a pretty rough and dirty, easy peasy one. It's on calculator.net. Anybody can go and find it. But to walk us through it, so we ended up closing on this property at, I believe, 98,000, some along those.
Does that sound right, Melissa?
Okay. Yeah, so we'll say 90, yeah, we'll say 98,000. We closed on this one in cash, so we didn't use a loan. The closing costs we put as standard title one's about $3,000. It's kind of easy, dirty math. Needs repairs. You always want to check yes when you're underwriting a property. This is where I think a lot of agents and a lot of investors make a huge mistake, is they think they're buying a stock. They don't realize that you actually have to put work into this thing to get it to where it's stabilized. The kind of understood market par amount to underwrite for operational expenditure, capital expenditure, repairs is going to be 12.5% of the purchase price.
All right, so that's 12.25.
Yes.
Oops,
Okay,
wrong.
yes.
Hopefully it's worth more than that.
We'll just go ahead and put, we'll go ahead and put 110,000, I think the thing would probably cap out at. So the duplex in Akron, so it's like 55 a unit on average.
Okay.
Property taxes, I'd say we're about $1,000 a year. Total insurance is gonna be about $800 a year. There's no HOA fees. Maintenance, I like to do kind of about like $1,000 a unit, so we can keep that there. The reason why, that's smoke detector batteries, that's light bulbs, that's a wax ring on a toilet. The prayer is when you go in and you do these unit turns and fix some of the mechanicals or negotiate some of those into the deal, that you don't have to have a crazy amount of maintenance as it goes through. Other costs, 500, that's just, I'll leave that there just to float about. You never know, could be paying someone to go do cash for keys, it could be, whatever it could be. So this one rented for $700 a unit.
It's a duplex, right?
Yes, there's
Yep.
a duplex. So the vacancy rate, they start here at 5%. You actually want to be at 7%. That's the average in Ohio, and the reason why you want to save up for vacancy, and please tell me if I go too far into this, is that's pretty much the amount of time that the property will be physically unoccupied and then economically unoccupied, vacant. So that's the difference between those two, is physical occupancy is actually someone in the unit. Economic is someone who's in the unit and not paying, so it's actually more of a drain. 7% is kind of the agreed upon average between those two.
And that's roughly 3.5 weeks worth of vacancy over the course of a year.
Yes, which is what you'd always hope, and that's if you have a fully occupied property. In the first year, if you have one unoccupied, you'll want to do probably like 15 or 16, because you're gonna have 3 months of turning the unit and getting it marketed with a property manager. Management fee, the market average is gonna be 10%. If any of you work with Shauna Bayer over at Icon Property Management, she charges $55 a door, so that can be very helpful to a lot of your more cash flow minded investors. And then, do you know the sale price? No, I really don't do this one. I just do pretty market averages, so 5.5% per year for the value appreciation. Not that value means a whole lot. 30 years is what we'll call the holding pattern, just because, let's say they put a mortgage on it down the road, and you're not gonna sell it for 8%, you help them buy the thing, so we'll do 5. Calculate.
But we're not telling you what you have to charge.
Yes. So even first year, this one is a relatively decent one. You have a 12.29 rate of return. It's not as high as we'd like to see it, but it's still in the positive. And again, it's because there wasn't as much spread between what it's worth and what we bought it for. But this investment, this fund specifically, only looks at cash flow. They don't even believe in market value. With the way that it's ebbed and flowed over the last 20 years, it's a decent size to agree with. Total cash on cash is 769. That will change if we do the second year, because they're going to put a mortgage on it. So we're going to see a lot more. They're going to get a lot of their money out, but you still have 9.96% capitalization rate, which is where you're really, really winning. And then you're at a cash flow amount of $813.47. That is blowing it out of the water. Your market average, or I guess minimum rather, would be $235 a door, because it's kind of like reverse engineering it from the average numbers we want to see.
Nice. Awesome. We went fast and covered a lot in the interest of time, but does anyone have quick questions for Eli while I try to get this presentation back up?
What? Rental calculator, it's the rental calculator on calculator.net.
Just, yeah, calculator.net.
Eli can do an entire class on
Yeah.
Thanks, Eli.
Mhm. I always tell Eli, slow down, talk like I can understand. Teach me like I'm an 8-year-old. Yeah.
Cool. Is there a graph where it can show, so you purchase the property for 98,000, right? And as far as the rent that you're getting back, and that 1,400 month or whatever, does it show how quickly you make that? Say, for instance, you didn't take a loan on it, money to see about your full return to get that 98,000 back. How long does it take to get that money back and to show it?
There is, yeah. If you go back to the website, if it's still up.
I'm not going to, because I'll mess it up.
We'll mess it up. Okay. If you scroll down on that calculator, you'll be able to see. So you're saying if you don't put a mortgage on it?
Correct.
If you don't put a mortgage on it, following that metric, you're probably around like year 10 to year 12. If you do put a mortgage on it, you're going to be about 4.5 years. If you're anything ahead of, or if you're anything farther than that, you might not want to pick it up. If anything before that, it's.
Yep.
So if you go to that website and scroll down, you'll be able to see year by year exactly how much you're going to.
Yep. Awesome. Appreciate your help, man.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah. One more question, Megan. Yeah.
If you take this calculator and take this to, go get a non-owner occupied loan, does that help with getting a mortgage?
That's a good question. I mean, it really just depends on ultimately what the rental income is going to be, because for qualifying for an actual loan, you can only do a certain percentage. I think it's about 75% just rental income that we can use to calculate. For the first, well, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, and on single family homes too, one of the places that you can put 15% down. A lot of people think it's 20 or 25, but we do allow 15% down on the investment.
Cool. Awesome.
Requirements.
Thank you. Just a couple quick things. Another category of value is understanding the property. It's not the paint color and it's not the flooring type. It's different things that investors are looking at. So just a couple quick tips. One is when you're looking at a property with an investor, part of how you build credibility is racing to the basement. We don't care about the vanity. We care about the mechanicals. We care about the foundation. We care about the joists, the stuff that's gonna be big ticket items. So that's a way that you can build credibility is not, oh my goodness, I love this place. It's what's actually going on down there. What are we seeing on the roof? It's what an inspector is more likely to care about. Consider the big ticket items. And I see that agents that work with investors at a high level really understand what big ticket items are going to cost. What's an HVAC going to cost? What's a major plumbing repair going to cost? What's a roof going to cost? And there's a lot of variables in that, but the more that you can be a bona fide resource to them, the better. And always, and this is true with any kind of major purchase, always get 3 bids, even if you're not doing the work for them. But if you're building the habit of I'm bidding out major jobs, I'm understanding the cost of major jobs, you're going to earn credibility and the chance to do business as well. That should have gone on to a next one. A big part of what we do is connecting them to resources. A lot of investors have, hey, I might have a lender I really like already. I might have a handyman, but I don't have X, Y, or Z. And so for you to consider, how can I continue to build my list of people that from a contractor standpoint and from an asset-based professional standpoint, attorney, et cetera, continue to work with them. But then also, and I'll raise my hand for this personally, they may be looking just for leverage. They may be looking for someone to help them do a thing, or they may be looking for someone to do the thing. So I'm excited to invite up Jason Margot and Tracy Pangrazio. Come on up together. Let's welcome these folks. Very excited. We have not had in-house property management as an option to our agents until a couple months ago. And so Jason and Tracy join us to provide just that as an in-house solution for you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Jason, then Tracy.
So lifetime of construction and real estate background. So got my real estate license at 21, been licensed for, I guess it's 24 years now. So no, 21 years. Yeah, 22. So 21 years licensed in real estate. Grew up in construction. My dad was a builder. So from the time I was a kid, I was working on houses, doing repairs. Got into construction myself, doing new builds, additions, remodeling, repairs. Back related to real estate, and then from real estate, I kind of found my niche in rentals, managing commercial. So I have a large pool of talent that I've kind of dabbled in, where not the normal residential investor, a residential realtor knows as much about. So when it comes to property management, maintenance is huge. So having the skills in the background that I have can really help facilitate those things with your landlords and owners. So along with real estate, I am the owner of Marvel Construction, which is now pretty much only doing maintenance for my property management division, and I own a commercial glass company. So lots of arms out there. I have a lot of connections in every field, pretty much that come with construction and real estate. So.
Awesome. How about you, Tracy?
Well, I have been, I started in property management back in, gosh, I'm gonna show my age here. I'm only 30.
Started when I was 7.
I started when I was 7. No, I've been licensed for 19 years. I did work for Chartwell Management, which is out of Cleveland. And then we ran Woodside Terrace Apartments in Canton. And you're familiar with that. And I also worked for REM property in Canton.
Okay.
So I managed anywhere from Alliance to Massillon. That was my territory. So I took care of maintenance requests, leasing, basically writing up the leases, everything, all the headaches. Basically, we're here to take your landlord's headache away. And we'll take the headaches, and I eat Motrin during the day. But I mean, that's what we're here for. We want to simplify it and, deal with the tenants. Basically, all your property manager, or I'm sorry, all your landlord has to worry about is receiving their check. We take care of everything. And having the maintenance with Jason's connections, we're not having to wait for, the average heating and cooling person will put you on the schedule in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We're there. So that's definitely a plus.
You guys are based in New Philly, but you service kind of through Stark and up into Summit, correct?
Yes, because currently I manage about 100 doors, the majority of them being in Stark and Summit counties. growing it in the Tuscarawas County area. But majority of the work we do is up here. So my maintenance guys are full-time in Stark and Suffolk County every day doing repairs. So if something happens on one side of Akron, I can get down to Canton within an hour to take care of them. So I'm not traveling 50 minutes from home base every time there's an issue. So we are around the area. We definitely manage in our markets.
Cool. We're excited for y'all to refer. So you've got, well, you've just talked about all the things that you do, but you've got a program that you wanted to talk a little bit about as well.
Yes, so we have a referral program. So if any agent out here is kind of has some investors that they maybe would like to look for a property manager, they want to get into the market, but they don't really want to take on the task that we take on. We are offering a $100 per unit referral. So say someone has a client that's 5 units, we'll pay $100 per unit if we sign that client to a 1-year lease, a 1-year agreement. And as well as just that $100 per unit, we charge a placement fee. So if someone wanted to be a little more involved, we would give the opportunity to kind of take those calls and show those potential tenants. And then those tenants would then come to us, we would then take them, we would screen them, and we would select them based on our experiences. But that would add another 25% in. So say you rented the house for $1,000, you're gonna get an extra $250 for that unit. For that client. It also helps you get your name out there a little bit too. Your sign, your name in front of it. It helps build your relationship with your landlords and in that market, saying, oh, I can call so-and-so for buying investment property or for coming back to market. So
Awesome. Any questions for Jason and Tracy before we transition? Yeah, Preston.
So if you have the construction, do you also do turns as well? So like major turns, say you want to get rid of all the carpet and throw LVP in, would you guys do that kind of stuff?
yes, so we would do everything that the owner wants to go in, and the house has got carpet. Normally nowadays, we're just not replacing carpet, we're just putting everything in LVP, because it's saving them down the road, because every 2-3 years that carpet's trash and you're just turning it over. So if you put LVP down, it's more long-term investment, take more money from. Yeah, we would go in, we do everything.
Cool. Yeah, Carly.
So what do you guys charge for your management fee?
It's $70 per door or up to 10%.
It's 10% with $70.
And if we refer clients to you, if the time comes for them to like sell the property, do you refer them back to us?
So we will not hold your clients as ours. A lot of property managers that are in the business, they'll have an agreement that says, if you sell during your property management agreement, you must sell through us. If you refer somebody, I will prospect. I'm not here to take your clients, but we're just to help your clients and help you build a more relationship so you can grow when you're ready.
Awesome. In the interest of time, we'll transition, but will you guys be hanging out for a few minutes after? Ask them questions, send business their way. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Gina? Come on up. Ms. Gina Ferrer.
And we want to get to this context. All right, question. How many of you guys have listings that need held open?
Currently or ever?
I hope that you guys have.
Yeah.
A little bit. And what about you're on vacation or you have other appointments and then you need someone to show houses for you? I am going to be putting together a program. I'm gonna make it up and call it KWPC certified, not really certified, but certified by us. Gonna come up with a list of trainings for each category for open houses and showings. The agents in PC are going to be able to take those courses, check them off the list, and then I'm gonna have a whole list of people so that instead of just reaching out randomly like happens now, hey Gina, I need a house held open, do you have anybody? And I just dip into my chat and say who wants it. This way I'll have to go to my list and say, here's the 10 people right now that have taken all the trainings and they're good to go. So you can trust that they're gonna know how to market the property, they have signs. They aren't gonna expect you to use, your signs for open houses. And they know what to do at open house. And then also how to do showings and that you can feel comfortable when you're away or on other appointments, that you can just work out payment with them, however you want to do that, but that they're trained fully on a lot of different categories to be able to do that.
That's great.
So that will be coming here shortly.
Stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gina. Just a couple quick PSAs. Amy Guthrie, she's probably on Zoom. She and I are teaching a class all about money in a couple weeks. It's gonna be a fun one, so join us for that on Zoom. Carly Bailey is chairing the Education Committee, which meets right after this. Grab a pizza and come back right in here. If you're interested in helping shape the learning environment here and what could we do to help our agents learn at an even higher level, we're excited about that. You should have seen this either email, Facebook, probably both. The Golden Handoff class, our region is hosting this as a mastermind tomorrow. It's in the Facebook page. Golden Handoff is all about acquiring, transitioning business. Someone's retiring, and how do we create a scenario where it's a win-win for both parties? Lots of people are asking questions about how long they want to remain in the business right now. And so this is going to be a great training. Family reunion, if you're not signed up already, get it done. We've got a great group going, I think 30 some of us, including leadership, which is going to be great. Awards night, you've gotten emails. If you're not signed up, we are full, but we can put you on a wait list with no guarantees. Friday, March 8th, and it is, in case you haven't gotten all the memos, it is decades themed. So dress in your favorite decade in a classy version of that. No trashy Nirvana t-shirts. Yeah, Scott's going full toga for his favorite decade. All right, okay. This is our group of folks that are qualified. Amanda, can you come up here and at least be visible while I do this? Amanda's done great work in keeping y'all organized and communicating about it, and we're excited for this. So I'm told that I just click on this.
I hope so.
I'm gonna do this real quick.
Maybe, yeah, maybe double the slide.
Oh, there it is. Okay, so everyone's name is on there. Trust us. We triple checked. Don't question. They all say Mark Sandvig, but that's fine. All right. Are we doing this?
We're doing this.
Okay. Look at all those. You see your name? You see your name? All right, let's see.
They have to be here or on the Zoom.
Nick Rock! Oh my gosh, that was dramatic. So yeah. He's in the front row. Before it happened. I haven't ever won anything like this. We said Apple Vacation. That's actually an Applebee's gift card. So enjoy your evening. You know, vacation's a state of mind. Wherever I decide to go, we'll all be there. All right, Nick, can you stand here? We're gonna do a selfie with everybody cheering for Nick because you're excited. You're happy for him. Throw your arms up in excitement. That was less than enthusiastic. All right, it's a selfish. Yes, we can. Remind me what we're doing. Yep. Yep.
So,
Oh yeah.
your second favorite Sam and I, were on a call and she was delivering food, at San Local School because their pantry was empty. I guess around the holidays, it kind of gets wiped out. So San Local is really struggling with food. So I said, why don't me and Cliff will buy like a movie night. So we're doing a dinner and movie. We were supposed to bring canned goods, which just a few of you guys did. So please still bring it in though. Sam will take it to the schools. It's for the children, guys. So, do you wanna?
Yeah, here, well.
Wait, did anyone bring stuff in that I didn't give a ticket to?
Yeah, before we,
Okay.
all right. Not as cool as the.
Yeah.
Sorry, she'll let you go first.
Yeah.
Let you go
Okay,
first.
there you go.
All right. It is 367769.
698.
Tina! Nice.
Congratulations, girl.
Thanks, Sam and Sam.
Yeah.
Other Sam is not feeling great.
No, she won, yeah.
All right, I think that's all she wrote. Grab some food, grab some beverage, chat with someone you don't know, and education committee here, 12:15.